Therapy is one of the tools that we have to work on ourselves. And it takes us away from, the environment and from other people and allows us to really like attune to ourselves. That's my experience of therapy. And there's a lot of different types of therapy. You have to find the type of therapy that works for you, which one of the approaches I know my therapists have used with me is like a strength-based approach, or just like there's so many different types of therapy, and you have to find what is gonna help you. Yeah.
Could you explain what a strength-based approach of therapy has been for you, and why it meets you where you are?
I think that it helps me to identify what's working, first of all. Because if you want to believe that you have everything in you and that you just have to like bring it out to have the experience that you want, it helps you to tune into the things that are working and the things that you're doing right, the things that you get to just practice, and like what you're good at, to like encourage more balance with the things that you might struggle with. And that's my experience. Like, I know the therapist I work with, I've worked with, he uses like a variety, but that's like one of the ones that like is just standing out to me right now. Yeah.
What's the sign of a good therapist?
I think it's different for everyone, but I think that when you know, and like my process of finding this person was, first of all, I had to select someone who I knew that would be open to exploring like trans identity and things with me. Like I couldn't have a therapist who like secretly in the back of their mind would be like, oh, or like, I couldn't deal with that. So I first like started looking on lists that specifically are people who are worked with the trans community. And then I like pulled a couple of names off that list of people who took my insurance, and then I called them, or I sent them a message and said, hey, do you have minutes, like 15, 20 minutes just to talk? And you can tell me about what your therapeutic style is. And even if I didn't understand it, just like being able to have the conversation. So I'm like, if someone's not even willing to have a conversation with me, and we're going to enter a deep and vulnerable relationship, already you're not the first. If I feel like you don't have time for me, already I can't do with you. And some people, it's like, they don't need, I needed to feel that like you cared about me as someone, as a person to talk to. And then like from there, I just like talked to some people. And like, I remember when I first talked to my therapist that I chose to be with, it was like, he was talking about The Matrix. He was talking about TV shows and movies and stuff, and I just felt like a warmth from him. And I was like, okay, I can see myself building the kind of relationship with this person where I'm actually willing to tell you certain things, because like that's the other thing too, is like I've had therapists before where it's like, I ain't telling you everything that's going on. It's like your doctor asks you if you smoke weed, and you're like, no, it's not. Are you kidding? It's like, and I think, no, I want someone who I can be honest with, who I can actually tell you what's going on, and like have you hear me. And like, yeah, like I got that good feeling from him, and I decided to like be like, yeah, let's do this. And I was in weekly therapy with him for like 2.5 years. And it's like interesting now, because I went through, when I moved to Philly, and I turned 26, I lost the insurance that I had through my family.
And that was rough.
And it was very challenging, and I had to enroll in Medicaid. And it's like, I've been in a period now where I haven't been having weekly therapy. And like, but it was like also too, like over those years, like I've done a lot of work to fortify myself, to identify some of the things that I wanted to do in my life, to build a lot of tools that will help me to like, once again now. And that's the thing, like when you ask me like, hey, it's like, you want to come do this, I'm like, this is also a sign for me to say like, okay, what are the things that I need to get in place to be like, yeah, let me get back in therapy before the year is over. Because I do, I've been through it. Because like also too, it is a time commitment, it's an emotional commitment, like once a week for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of like going deep and talking about some really heavy things and all types of stuff. It's a commitment, and it's like I'm ready to make that commitment to myself again, to like keep moving towards it. And it's like, I don't know, maybe like now I'm in a place where I might do better with bi-weekly therapy just because of how my schedule and life works, but like just knowing that I need it, or like some people only have therapy once a month. That's what that works for them. And sometimes you go through a more challenging period where you might have to say like, hey, I might need to like be doing this once a week now.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is that you need, like, go get it for yourself. Do that for yourself.
Yeah.